Unemployment refers to individuals who are employable and actively seeking a job but are unable to find a job. Unemployment is usually measured by the unemployment rate, which is dividing the number of unemployed people by the total number of people in the workforce.
According to Bloomberg rankings, South Africa now has the highest unemployment rate on a global list of 82 countries monitored by the financial publication. Yesterday, Statistics South Africa released the second quarter unemployment figures, which show that the country's unemployment rate hit a record high of 34.4%.
Consecutive record unemployment figures, and there is always this collective horror at how high the unemployment rate is.
Despite being the most developed country in Africa, South Africa's unemployment rate has hit its highest levels in history. Nearly 10 million people are now jobless.
This graph adds on to the previous fact about how young people suffer from the highest unemployment rates, and right now these rates are above 60%. The main factors contributing to the high unemployment rates in South Africa include the COVID-19 pandemic, high inequality rates among people of color, and a lack of interest and support in the youth of South Africa. As seen in the graph, South Africa has reached 3 different peaks due to the pandemic, each one worse than the last. With inadequate access to vaccines, as well as new variants, many people have been forced out of a job due to the country shutting down and the economy plummeting. In fact, over 3 million people have lost their jobs due to COVID-19 within South Africa, and the pandemic continues to take an immense toll on the population. Under apartheid, non-whites were forcibly moved to areas far from city centers. This spatial inequality endures, making transport time consuming and costly. In fact, on average, Black South Africans spend more than 100 minutes per day commuting, and this number is almost 4 times as much as the average American commuter. Furthermore, a study published in 2016 found that young, unemployed people spend $38 per month searching for work, an amount more than the average per-person income of their households. Due to these geographical and financial barriers, more than 40% of 15 to 24-year-olds grow up in houses without anyone in employment, and therefore they lack role models and contacts in the workplace, which therefore contributes to the high unemployment rates within South Africa. Another factor contributing to the high unemployment rates in South Africa is the disinterest and lack of support in the young population. The youth is the future of South Africa, and as mentioned before, they are the group with the highest unemployment rate. Inadequate education and lack of productivity is costing jobs. Due to the historically low levels of investment in African education, the education system is not producing the skills needed for the labor market. This has resulted in a surplus of especially unskilled and low-skilled job seekers that no one is looking to hire. In addition, a lack of interest and support for entrepreneurs has contributed to unemployment. Only 6% of the youth population was involved in entrepreneurship, which negatively affects unemployment rate. Entrepreneurs are important to the market because they act as wheels of economic growth of the country. By creating new products and services, they stimulate new employment. Without them, employment dwindles as seen in South Africa. Unemployment has resulted in both individual and societal consequences within South Africa. Two main consequences being mental health issues and poverty. For an individual, unemployment can cause psychological distress, mood disorders, and substance abuse. Unemployment can also affect one's social status, which manifests through stigmatization, labeling, unfair judgment, and marginalization. All these factors can lead to a decline in life satisfaction. In fact, studies have found a correlation between unemployment rates and suicide rates within South Africa. The South African Depression and Anxiety Group reports that there are 23 known cases of suicide in South Africa every day, and for every person that commits suicide, 10 people have attempted it. Before COVID-19, when unemployment wasn't so high, the organization fielded 600 calls a day. As of September 2021, when unemployment rates soared, that number had risen to 2,200 calls a day, an increase of nearly 40%. Without a doubt, this reveals the harmful effects of high unemployment rates within South Africa. Another major impact of unemployment is poverty. A recent report by the World Inequality Lab noted that the top 1% richest South Africans own more than 55% of the wealth, while the poorest 90% only earn 14% of the wealth of the country. Clearly, poverty is extremely prominent within South Africa. More than half of South Africa's population lives below the poverty line. They are living this way because they are unable to find a job that pays a living wage. As unemployment increases, more and more families are limited to the resources they need in order to survive, and they are pushed into poverty. In fact, according to the UN, poverty rates in South Africa are continuing to increase, and a large contributor of this are the high unemployment rates.